Comrades, I am Admiral Andre, and welcome to YouTube. Well, more specifically, this is the anniversary of my first year on YouTube as an active participant, I suppose. I've of course been watching YouTube videos for a long time, but exactly 1 year ago is the day when I uploaded my first public video to this channel. I did a few test runs before then just to see how the whole upload process works, but those videos were never made public. I'll actually take you through the whole thing as we look at the channel. So this is almost like a channel review of sorts. But first of all, I just want to say a massive and immeasurable thank you to all my fellow admirals who have watched and subscribed and commented and all of those things over this past year. I really have exceeded all of my expectations during that time. So as you can see there, 127 subscribers. To me, that is amazing, especially because this has always been a hobby, not really about getting fame or any of those other things. You know, this has been a hobby because I always thought it would be fun to do this, and it has been. So it really, that's what sustains me. It's really just such a regret of mine that I don't upload more regularly, or at least, you know, stick to certain days and so on. But that is an ongoing goal. So just be aware of that. So let's have a look at some of the statistics and things, just sort of out of interest's sake, to reflect on this 1 year anniversary. Really, I also need a new picture there, but I'm thinking one of the things I want really is an actual like icon, not just my face plastered up there, but I don't really know what I should, you know, get for that. So your input would really be fantastic. What do you think represents this channel? If we had to pick like an icon or an emblem, you know, an Admiral needs an emblem. I have a thing up here in the banner, as you can see, and that was actually the medal that I got from the very first series that I did on this channel, Buzz Aldrin Space Program Manager, because I managed to land on the moon before 1969. So I got the medal in the game, and I thought, wow, that's actually a great thing to put on the banner here. Of course, I've never managed to get another medal in a game, so that hasn't really gone any further. But, you know, it was an interesting thing. So, first thing I think, let's go into the statistics and then review things from there. So here we are in the Creator Studio now, as they call it, and we get an analytics overview here. Just as we see the videos and all of that, it's just sort of your greeting screen there, but we can get more detail from the actual analytics tab. So let's look at that. Okay, so here we are, and like I said, this is a hobby for me, so I've never really paid attention to all of these things. I will admit, of course, that during the first, I would say, probably the first 10 or so videos that I uploaded, I actually liked them all myself, because that made me feel a bit less lonely out here, and it was just to sort of get me started, a small little, you know, confidence boost, even though it was self-inflicted. But anyway, so watch time and so on, these things are not really important in, you know, in the context that they're given here, because there is such a great fluctuation here. And that's because this is the last 28 days, and because I upload quite irregularly, to my own shame there, it does go up and down, so it's not really that we can make out any trends here. So I want to put it on the lifetime. And it's just loading there. So you see there is a long lifetime before I actually started the channel. I wonder actually, I wonder if I can find out somewhere when I actually started this channel. It was like 2014 or something like that. I think Social Blade can say that. I'm not sure. So anyway, the total watch time is a whopping 186,000 minutes that people have been listening to my ramblings. So that's if that's not a confidence boost, then I don't know what is. But again, that is down to you. So thank you for putting up with my ramblings. Average view duration, of course, that will differ, so I don't put much stock in that. The videos are not all equally long and all of that. So retention rate is more of a thing to look at, but again, I don't watch these things too closely. Total views 19,648. So that's already quite a thing, you know. Look at that. It's to think the videos have been watched almost 20,000 times is itself quite an achievement. Likes and dislikes. I was always scared when I started. Oh, the dislikes are going to come and the hate is going to come soon and all of that stuff, but I have to say I've been quite lucky in that regard, and this is not an invitation to start hating on me, please, although, who was it who said, now I have to think, what's his name, one of those comedians, he said everyone needs more haters, but in YouTube I think there's enough haters, so we don't need more of them, but 645 to 20 dislikes I think is quite a good ratio. I mean, I don't really know about how other people's channels would look, but for me that's fantastic. So when the first dislikes started coming in, I mean there's not been many, but then I was thinking, oh, now it's gonna start, but it hasn't really, you know, gone up quite dramatically, so I'm really happy about that. Comments, I'm also happy for the first, well, it was quite a few first videos that I didn't receive any views or comments or anything. So it's really nice for me now to actually see the same faces and recognize some of the old veteran admirals. And that's something that encourages me, I have to say. Shares, there's not really been many. There's been 7 shares, but you know, my videos are not the kind that are, you know, those kind of sensational videos or really funny videos or something like that. It's just not my style, and of course the content as well. It's not like a prank video or something. I bet those would get a lot of shares, but it's fine, you know. Videos in playlists, so those would be not only my own playlists, other people can make playlists of videos that they like, so that's just a number there. And of course the subscribers. So let's have a look at my top 10 videos, and you'll see a trend here very quickly. All of them real politics. I have to say real politics has been very good to me, and it's been a great deal of fun to record those videos. So that's definitely been my #1 series. Let's have a look. The first video here actually of South Africa has had the most watch time, and then the Brave New World, that was episode 0, that was #2. Then where's Turkey? Turkey is nowhere here yet because I guess these are a bit older, so they will have a bit more views and so on. But Real Politics is not really also a very, very popular game, I think. Certainly not like Hearts of Iron, so those might do a bit better, and I would like to try that in the future sometime. But I also like the sort of quick pace of a Real Politics video, you know, the average sort of 30 minutes video. There's always a lot of things happening and popping up, and wars and chaos like we've seen with Turkey. So that's something that I appreciate, and there's a lot for me to react to and talk about and so on. So I actually like the pacing of the Real Politics game. I know something like Europa Universalis, for example, would be a very slow-paced game, and the way I play a sort of game like that is always on the sort of medium speed or even the lower speed, because I need time to reflect on things and plan and strategize and so on. So I really like to take my time, and for a YouTube series that would be pretty much not a good thing, because the series would be too long and too slow paced. But you know, who knows? There's always an audience for everything, really. That's what YouTube shows. So gender, I don't know how reliable this is, because YouTube has to know, so it has to be that the person is signed into their channel or whatever the case might be, but it's overwhelmingly male, which I expect from all game channels, really, or most of them anyway. Traffic sources, suggested videos, that's actually the most. So I know there's been a bit of a noise from, the real big YouTubers lately about YouTube not suggesting their videos as much as before. But maybe from a perspective of a smaller channel, that's a good thing, because they have huge established audiences and, the new guys have to get in somewhere. So the fact that 41% of my traffic has come from suggested videos shows that for a small channel, and I consider myself to be a mote of dust in a great sandstorm of YouTube, that's actually been a good thing. Playback locations 100% on the watch page of YouTube, so I guess that's quite a common thing as well. We're not going to get any other information here. There's something about embedding in external websites and apps, but I don't know what that's about. So let's just go back again. So yes, the whole revenue thing, that's another thing. I have applied for, what is it called, the partner or whatever of YouTube in South Africa, and they have approved me there. You have to have, I think, 100 subscribers or something like that. But that was just sort of for the achievement of it. That's not been for the revenue or anything like that, even though I am now technically able to monetize videos. But I'm not going to do that now. That's ridiculous, It's never a good and healthy thing for a very small channel to do that, because that seems really greedy. And in any case, it's going to be so little revenue that it's really pointless. And I would reconsider that when there's maybe thousands of subscribers, if that will ever happen. That's another thing. I'm not attaching any expectations there. So I guess the journey for me has been a much easier one than it would be for a lot of other YouTubers, because they're really, sort of anxious about these things, and I need more subscribers, and how can I maximize my view duration and all of that. And that's a lot of stress as well. So if that's what you want to do, that's also okay, but for me that's just not a thing. So estimated revenue is nothing. So I will, if that ever happens, then I will do a video in which I'm gonna announce that. I think it's not a good thing to just start commercializing or monetizing videos and then suddenly ads start popping up. So let's see, what else can we learn here? Real-time ad rates, revenue, watch reports, watch time. Let's look at the watch time. I've actually looked at this earlier today, and I wanted to show you something very funny. Actually, I think it's funny anyway. Let's have a look. So these are the videos that have had the most watch time. Yes, so actually here we can see, no, is this the one I want to see? It is, but it's actually, I wanted to talk about this a bit later, but it's okay. We can talk about it now. So this is not the thing I had in mind right now. Just for the sake of it, we can see the most popular we've looked at. Let's look at the least popular. There's been quite a few videos where there's literally been zero. I don't know why it says unidentified video here. I think those are the ones that I did for my tests. But anyway, something like Transport Fever free game, that had 3 minutes of watch time. So, some videos didn't do so well. And also the channel update, actually, I haven't even seen this yet. There's 7 views on that one. So, it is what it is. That's what a colleague of mine always said. It is what it is. I'm not worried about that. So, where's the thing that I wanted to look at now? Geography, I think. Is that the thing? Yes, I think so. Because that will also show the watch time per area. But now I don't want a graph. I want, where's the map? When I looked at this earlier, you could actually see a map here. I think if I go back to the overview and then click on top geographies, that might help. Yes, this is what I wanted. Okay, so here we can see what the main sources of the views are on this channel. And I must say it's quite varied, actually. South Africa is not as high as you might think, since I'm a South African myself, but there's a lot of reasons for that. And first of all, data is really expensive in this country, and most people don't have broadband or fiber. Fiber is actually a pretty new thing. I live in Cape Town, which is the second largest city in this country. If I'm not wrong, maybe I don't think Durban or Pretoria has overtaken Cape Town. Cape Town has always been the second city. But only now has fiber started rolling out really on a larger scale. So actually a few weeks ago they installed the fiber in my neighborhood. So I don't have that at the moment. I just have the normal ADSL 4 megabits per second download, and I think upload is something like 400 kilobits or kilobytes or one of those. But I always upload my videos overnight, so it doesn't bother me, because if you upload, of course the thing is so slow you can't do anything else with it. But you know, it's fine for my purposes right now. But that's also why I don't really upload the really high definition videos. I do the 720, but I don't do the bigger ones, because the video size is just too much. It's going to take so long to upload that right now it's not worth it. If I do get a fiber connection, then it's definitely going to be more likely, but I might need a new screen for that. Who knows? But it's not a thing right now. Anyway, the top countries are the US and the UK, which you could expect to a sense, because those are the English-speaking developed countries, and of course Australia is there as well. But Germany and the Netherlands have really been a good source as well. So thank you, but not just to you, to everyone for watching. So that's a really good thing there. But actually, we're not on a list now. Let's just reorganize this. Or are we? Yes, we are. I was just thinking, this thing is looking a bit more, but it's because it's not perfectly lined up there. So ignore what I said. So let's have a look at some of the others here. Canada, of course, as well. Netherlands, as I said. Norway, Finland, Poland, and so on. But this will also tell you how much time people have spent in all of these different places. And this is now over the lifetime of the channel. So 69,000 minutes, or 37% of the total channel from the US. So much respect to you, US, and to everyone else, but you get the #1 spot. So there we go. But yes, let's have a look at the least duration. So we're going to just go right to the last page and see that Sri Lanka, okay, but these are all 0, but there has been 1 view. So I guess they clicked away immediately. It doesn't even count as one second. Okay, well, let's go for the first one that actually has a time stamp on it. There's a 3-second one in Nigeria. I guess that's the lowest one. So interesting. Someone in Nigeria, 1 person there, so 1 view, clicked on a video and basically immediately clicked away. So I guess they didn't find what they were looking for. But that's fine. You know, we all have the things that we like to watch, and I certainly don't blame them. I still think it's awesome that somebody found me in Nigeria. And Curacao, that's an interesting one as well. Syria, that's so interesting. 1 person from Syria, they took 6 seconds on one of my videos, and that's now with all the chaos happening in that country. That's quite surprising, I have to say. I wonder if there's a North Korean. That could only be 1 person, but I doubt it. No North Korean. And of course no Chinese, because YouTube is not available there. Faroe Islands, British Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, these are all quite short duration as well, but interesting, you know, it shows you how wide the reach can be. So, is there anything else I want to mention here? I don't think so. Audience retention. This is now again the average of all the videos over the entire year. And the average percent is 26, which might sound, you know, not so good, but I think the average is anyway, for a sort of just a stock standard average for YouTube, is about 30% or 30-something%. So that is generally not so bad. Of course, it depends entirely on the type of content that people make. So I guess some makeup tutorials might have a better retention there, but you know, my videos are more slow-paced, so if someone isn't really into that, then, you know, power to them. Let's look at the demographics. I think this is just the same as we've seen already, you know. But the interesting thing here is the age, you know. So that's also you can see, but this is again based on the type of videos that I make, but also the type of games that I sort of cover. The average, I guess, of the ages is more on the mature side. I would expect that most of YouTube is catered for the really younger audience, you know, even in the gaming side of things. But in that sense, I've only had 6.2%, if I'm reading this right, of the views from that age bracket. So I'm not for the young people. Oh well. Then the 18 to 24s, they are well represented, but the best representation is 25 to 34. And there's also a good one from 35 to 44. And I would say this is pretty good because I'm in my 30s, so that pretty much matches the you know, the sort of people that I attract, I guess, to the channel. But everyone is welcome, of course. Even the 4.6% of over 65s, and there's actually 0.1% female above 65, which is really interesting. And I know it's not my mother because she doesn't really go on YouTube and she doesn't even, you know about this channel. I've made a point to keep this channel separate from family and friends. This is, you know, I don't want to. There's one friend though that was my very first subscriber, but you know, props to him because he got the ball rolling. But this is for me and for fun. This is separate from the rest of my life, so that's what makes it so great. This is a nice escape for me. So let's look at the playback locations. I guess this would just be again the watch page and all of that. The devices might be interesting. Computer, that's the definite winner there, and followed by the mobile phone. And these are the media that I also use to watch YouTube videos, so I'm not too surprised about that. But there's 2.2% unknown. Interesting. Someone on another planet, maybe. I wonder. Average view duration is quite long as well. So, yes, the Martians have been watching. TV is also there, so that's 4%, which is quite interesting as well. Average percent anyway, so that's not too important. Let's see, what else can we look at? Subscribers we've looked at already. No data in this report. Oh. It's just loading, I guess. I don't know what that's all about. But 127. So I've lost 20 over the lifespan of the channel, which is perfectly to be expected, you know. But I've gained 147. So that's definitely outweighing the loss. So I'm happy with that. Then likes and dislikes and so on. We've looked at all of those things. I don't know if there's too much else we can actually see here. If there's anything specific that someone wants to see or wants me to talk about, then I'll be more than willing to do that. This is really something we can explore further. So let's go to the videos on the channel and just have a quick overview of them. Okay, so here we are. Let me just sort it by oldest first. So exactly 1 year ago, but these do show the ones that I didn't actually share. These were some Kerbal Space Program videos that I tested, you know, just playing and sort of seeing what I could do with that. But the very first video that I publicly uploaded here was the welcome, the introduction, which was exactly on the 15th of September, just to get the ball rolling. But the first, that's why this one says 11 months. The first, didn't want to actually go there now, but the first series was on the 16th of September. Pardon me, I just had to get some tea there. My voice is not coping too well. So yes, 16th of September I really started with a Let's Play, and then this was of course the Buzz Aldrin Space Program Manager series. There were a few vintage KSPs in between, and then Industry Manager. I also try to put a gold star on the thumbnail when I'm done with this series, so people know that there's the last episode. But I didn't really do it with these Industry Manager ones because that wasn't a proper series. That was sort of just an overview of the game. Then Train Fever, that was a long-running series, or at least it felt like a long-running series at the start, because 13 episodes was, unprecedented for me. And that was quite a fun series, but yes, didn't really receive much attention, which is not a problem again, because I think also Transport Fever was released just about that time. So then, of course, I started with that campaign, which I still need to finish, but that is, of course, an ongoing thing. Then I also started with a free game here, and I'm actually tempted to do another one, again trying the Airways sort of style of playing. And I found a map for that, and I've done some experiments, and it actually works. So we won't have the same struggles that we did. And of course, I've learned a lot about the game in the 9 months since I played that series. Then Kerbal Space Program again, there was quite a few of them as well, 12 episodes, but that's also an ongoing thing, but not a regular series. That's just when I feel in the mood, and then I build something and I try and see how well it fares. So, that's sort of just for interest's sake again. Now, let me have some more tea here. And actually, that also is a good point now with the whole tea thing. That's one of the things that I've struggled a bit with in the whole experience that I've had on YouTube now. I'm actually very curious to find out how other YouTubers deal with this, and if someone is in that same position, please do leave a comment and tell me, because my voice really cannot fare very well with recording more than a few episodes. The most I've ever done was 3 episodes in one day, and my voice was just wrecked for a few days after that. Talking for 30 minutes non-stop really does take a toll, and I don't know, maybe it's because I don't talk a lot in my sort of regular life. I guess I'm one of the quiet types, but also because I just sit behind a desk and, behind a computer with reports and papers and things like that. I'm not a person who really talks as a job, on the phone all day or something. So yes, it's a bit of a struggle sometimes, and I guess that does contribute to why I don't upload very, very frequently, but that is not an excuse though. That's just down to me not having either the time, or if I do have the time, I don't always have the energy for recording. So, yes, let's go on. There was the news thing there and a Christmas special. I'll try to do one this year again. I'm not sure for what yet. Then Transport Fever, and there was a revisiting Morrowind, again a 12-year-old save of mine that was really interesting, and you can see I've watched that recently, which is another thing, I've heard it before that one of the measures of success on YouTube is when you like watching your own content, and I have to say, it's not an ego thing. I just like my videos. Sometimes I just sit and watch some of the old ones again. And then I think, I really like this guy. I like his style. Hey, just a bit of ego there. No, that's not a serious thing. I just like, because obviously I like the games that I was playing, and to listen again to my sort of reasoning and all of that. It's surprising, actually. A lot of people cringe at their own voice, but I don't really find that, or either that or I've gotten used to it by now. What else? There were some geography things, and then the City Skylines series, which I have been quite shamefully lax with. I really do need to make some more episodes for that. That's definitely not ended. It's still ongoing, but yes, that's one of the irregular things. Race for the White House, that's another one I want to do a follow-up on, either again with that same game or with Democracy 3. I think that could be interesting. I really have to not lose the election or pick a strange party like I did then. What else? Then there was, of course, the whole Real Politics. I didn't even mention that. The first one was 6 months ago, and that's definitely been my #1 series, so had a lot of fun with that, as I do with all the others, but that's the one that's taken off the most. And it might be due to the pacing of the game, or the type of style of the game, the sort of strategy, but a bit faster than, I guess, Europa Universalis and those types of games. But yes, very, very positive one, that. And then there's a Race into Space one, the Soviet one, which I failed miserably at. That was the latest one there. And of course the DNA one, which was sort of the odd one out, but for interest's sake, And I have to do a follow-up because I've received some other information from other websites that I uploaded my raw data up to. So that could also be another interesting follow-up. So yes, there they are, all of the videos. It's been a journey, hey? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and I can certainly attest to that in YouTube. I think there's one thing I want to end off with, two things really, the sort of a goal for this channel. I'm thinking, when I started off, I don't know whatever happened to it, I stuck a little, one of those post-it notes next to my screen that said 5,000 subscribers. That was my dream, that I thought, that is the extent to which this channel would probably grow. And if it could reach that, then I would be, very, very, as they would say, very chuffed with myself. But I'm already very chuffed with myself. But long term, that would be, of course, an amazing thing if we could get there. But yes, I've got a lot of improving to do before then. And that's another thing. On this video, in the comments, if you would like, you can leave a comment to say what you think are perhaps, what are my strengths? What am I doing that's good or right? And what are my weaknesses? Where can I improve? What would you like to see that would help the whole channel along? Then, yes, the last thing was this, the YouTubers that I sort of look up to. And there's two in particular. There's quite a few that I subscribe to, but and most of them are gaming and especially strategy gaming channels. But I would say my number one idol, if I can call him that, is Daz Tactic. So let's have a look at him. He's actually live now, so that's interesting. He is an Australian YouTuber, and he's also been around for a long time, but he's one of the more mature gamers, I would say. And I just admire him and have such great respect for him, and I love his content and his style and all of that. So that's the reason I'm mentioning this, is because it would be such an amazing thing if I could, in the future, one day collaborate with him. That would be sort of my dream YouTube matchup. But yes, so he has 31,000 subscribers, and realistically, I think that is, well, I wouldn't even be as daring to say that that is what I could achieve. But, this is the kind of sort of style that I'm going for, and obviously the games, he does some of the same kinds of games that I do, also the more slower paced strategy games, and you can of course expect that those will not become these mega multi-million subscriber channels, but that is never what I aspire to. So much love to you, Daz, if you ever see this. I remember when you were Daz24680, and I never forget that either. Then Quill18 was the other one. Quill18 I've been watching for a very, very long time, since way before he was as popular as he is now. But yes, so I'll never be on that level, I think. But very interesting, another sort of inspiration, I would say, for me. So hats off to you, Quill. You always do like your hats. So, yes, another great channel if you are ever in the mood for trying out something new and you don't perhaps know about him already. So, I guess I'll end it off here and just say thank you again. This is such a great day, 1 year anniversary. And here's to many more. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day as always, my fellow admirals.